incredible prizes. Saturday, June 13th, the 89th annual Slugco membership meeting. Cajun Dome. Slugco is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, drive a new 26 Silverado 1500 and take $12,000 off the MSRP. Or take $13,000 off the MSRP with trade assistance. Plus, every new Chevy comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your Super Chevy dealer, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey. Stop by or log on at ServiceGM.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Dealer discount $6,000, GM rebate $6,000, LTR RST 5.3 V8 2012 or newer, trade assist $1,000 plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 $15 notary and 23 convenience. In-stock units, see dealer for details. Expire 7/7/26.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in Match Day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome into Footnotes. On this Friday, you are listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles. If you would like to get in on the ESPN hotline, 706-0111, certainly feel free to do so in about 15 minutes. Only one guest today, a very special guest, former St. Thomas More, former Raging Cajun Dalen Cambry. Just finished up on Wednesday a mini camp or whatever, OTA, whatever they call those little things that they do in NFL teams. He's with the New York Giants, so we'll get caught up with him. And, you know, he spent a year in the NFL, and now he's going back for year 2. And, man, the value of special teams. I mean, coaches push it. I can't believe there's too many more programs that push it more than the Cajuns do. And he's just a shining example, like, especially if Dalen ends up having a pretty long NFL career, he's going to be an example that coaches are going to use the value of special teams. And so looking forward to catching up with him as he continues to, I mean, New York Giants are a long way from home, but it's an NFL opportunity, and he's making the most of it, so good for him. I wasn't here yesterday, so we got a little catching up to do.
Yes, we do. You were at the beach.
So was anyone able to make any sense of what we saw Wednesday while I was going yesterday?
How do you mean? The NBA
game?
That you just can't kill the Knicks. And we were talking about it on Jordy's show this morning. I mean, even if the Spurs win Saturday night, I don't think it's possible right now to beat this Knicks team 3 games in a row.
Well, I don't think so. But, the whole – first of all, this isn't the first 20-something point deficit we've seen overcome in a relative short period of time in this postseason. So, even in college, I say it all the time. Well, so-and-so was up by 16 well, 15 or 16-point deficit. It's really not that much, even in college basketball. Because the three-pointer just changes all of it.
Yeah.
The other thing is the whole concept of being conservative is it's fascinating. And I think the current crop of athletes and the way athletics is played now, there's not as many people that are as comfortable doing that. Back when I was a kid, and there's a lot of hypocrites out there on that, and I'm about to explain that. When I was a kid, and this is football, but I'm always drawing analogies to other sports to make a point. When I was a kid, Howard Cosell used to say all the time, the prevent defense, all it does is prevent you from winning. And the concept of the prevent defense is to use the clock, try to get the clock on your side. Don't play your normal defense. Just play back and give stuff up underneath, and, and to run clock and tackle and use the clock as your friend. Well, basketball and football they're hockey too, but I mean the sports that we talk a lot about, those are the 2 clock sports.
Yes.
Baseball's different. Everyone, unless you don't need them and you're the home team with the lead, everyone gets the same amount of at-bats in baseball.
Yes.
So you can't, like Earl Weaver used to say, you can't just hand the ball off to your best player over and over again and run out the clock. But the other thing is, in today's era, in the 70s and 80s, and I'm sure the 60s too, but that was a little bit before my time, that was pretty routine. Now, it's almost like a large percentage of not just coaches, just the mentality of sports now is not to play the equivalent of prevent defense. It's like, just keep going, just keep attacking, stay aggressive. That stuff all sounds good.
It'll spur your mindset.
A little locally, play fast, hard, and loose. Well, you can play fast, hard, and loose in baseball because everyone gets the same amount of outs. But you can't always play fast, hard, and loose in a clock sport. And it's not just the Spurs. This happens all the time at all levels. People are not as good at playing the equivalent of prevent defense. They're not even willing to want to do it. It's almost like it's I think it kind of comes from that travel ball AAU mentality. I think. I don't know.
I could see it stemming from that.
Because, winning is important in that stuff, but not really. It's really about showcasing.
Yeah, it's all about – that's why they wear, ice cream cone looking cleats and have all the bright colored gear and shiny and flashy because it's me.
Yeah, it's almost like it's for a lot of people, they almost look at it as like an insult, almost like to play prevent, to be conservative and to play the clock. And but even with the 3-point shot, if you just play the clock, you're probably going to win. But young players don't want to play the clock. And a lot of coaches just kind of, we're going to stay aggressive.
Yeah.
Because when you play prevent defense and it doesn't work, what do people say? We said if they would have just not played prevent, they'd have just stayed aggressive and kept doing what they were doing, they would have won.
But they got in their head, and they started to play conservative, and look what happened.
And people criticize that all the time. Media members do, fans do, and yet we've seen some vivid examples with the Knicks on the plus side of that. If you just play the clock, play prevent defense or the equivalent thereof for that sport, the clock's on your side.
Play smart.
And they just not only did they. It's not just that they fired up threes. It's that they did it with way too much time on the clock because they were playing fast, hard, and loose. And it's this mentality. And I'm not saying there's no positives to it, because there are a ton of positive to it. It's this mentality of, I'm not going to worry about the negative. We're just going to keep going forward. And you have to do that, like a cornerback's mentality. It's like the difference between a player and a fan when Altuve goes 0 for 3 and, looks like a third grader. I'm agonizing when he left runners on third. He can't go to the plate thinking about how he left runners on third. I'm still worried about the runner he left on third 2 weeks ago as a fan. The player can't do that. They can't cloud their mind, so they got to stay fast, hard, and loose and be aggressive and attack.
Yeah, well, you get worried about a runner he left on base at third in 2019.
Some of that still exists, yes.
Special case. But I know what you mean.
Oh, and so I say all that to say the downside of that, even though I'm sure it has produced many victories, is what we saw Wednesday night. That's the downside of all of that. You say, well, it's just being negative. I don't know that I don't think it's a negative. It's that I just think in today's culture, it's harder to do the prevent defense. We're going to get conservative and play not to lose. It sounds so negative, doesn't that?
No, it does. It definitely does.
It sounds so negative to say we're going to play not to lose. And yet, in a clock sports, there are times you have to do that. When you have a 20-something point lead, you have to play not to lose.
It's the smart thing to do. You don't need to be chucking up threes and taking risky plays.
It's also understanding the Piper mentality. Now, Piper's a baseball thing. If I hit, I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out there. If I'm shooting 56% or whatever from three-point land in the first half, what am I probably going to shoot in the second half from three-point land? Not 56%. It's probably going to start with a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, you got to come back down to earth.
So you got to understand that.
No, I'm in agreement with you. I don't like I can understand the mentality of, hey, we got them where we want them, let's keep on them, but
that's also, you know what you call that? What I'm talking, you know what the understanding of the Piper mentality, you know what that's called? Analytics.
Analytics, there we go.
And that's the problem with I'm in the middle. Like I always say, you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low. You got to stay in the middle. There's some people that are totally anti-analytics, and they don't realize how unconservative that really is and how not wise that really is. And then there are other people, they don't understand that they're doing things that are analytical by nature because they grew up with them. Not everything that's analytical is new wave. Some analytical stuff is old school. That's what people don't get. And what we're talking about right now is an old school mentality. And then other people just think everything is analytics. And, of course, that's not true either.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that lean way too heavily.
Yeah, there's
on
people
analytics.
that go too far in one direction, too far in the other direction. People just need to be like me, just nice, calm in the middle.
If that's how you look at yourself, man, you're going to have a discussion.
All right. So look, College World Series starts today. West Virginia and Troy at 1. North Carolina, Ole Miss at 6. Tomorrow's games are 2 o'clock, Alabama, Oklahoma, 7 o'clock, Georgia, Texas. And if you missed it on Wednesday, were you here? I don't remember if you were here when we did when I ran down my statistical comparison of all of them?
I was here.
So we'll just review it real quick and just say what they were as we go into the games. And it's always interesting to see kind of does the play on the field match the statistical comparison?
Yeah.
Because we all understand stats tell you a lot, but they don't tell you everything. And, games aren't quote-unquote won on paper. We get that. But we're going to review what the paper says, and then we'll see what actually happens on the field.
Yeah, I mean, and look, stats can always go out of the window in a baseball game.
Absolutely, especially when you abandon or totally adopt analytics and see how it goes out. All right, before we move on, what is our foodie poll question of the week?
Yes, so it is, what is the best flavor of Zapp's chips? Is it the spicy Cajun craw taters, voodoo, the Cajun dill gator taters, other, or other?
I mean, I gotta tell you,
Here we go.
I'm kind of a plain chip guy. I like just
basic.
So probably without the exotic flavors. I'm not saying they're all bad. I eat, exotic type chips. Exotic's not the right word, but like sour cream and onion, and
yes.
I do like salt and vinegar.
That's my go-to.
It salt and vinegar would probably, besides the plain chip, probably salt and vinegar is my next best.
Okay.
Favorite.
Hey, look, Zapp's has both. They have a regular, and then their salt and vinegar, in my opinion, is the best salt and vinegar chip out there. So
I like the salt and vinegar chip, but I'm normally, like, if I go to a burger place, I've done other stuff, but I'm basically a number one guy. I get whatever the number one is, usually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually
You're not a number one guy?
No, I get a cheeseburger. I'm assuming number one is just a regular hamburger.
Well, number one is like you go to Burger King, it's a Whopper.
Yeah.
Now, I've kind of re-shaw's the Big Mac. I used to, for decades, I never even thought about getting a Big Mac. But, you go to Whataburger. By the way, it's not called, you don't say Whataburger, do you?
I say Whataburger. I mean, how else how do you say it?
Whataburger.
Whataburger? Like you
gotta have the emphasis or it's not authentic.
Well,
it's called Whataburger.
Well, I guess the correct pronunciation.
Because if you say it your way, it ends up being called Waterburger, like you're eating in some swimming pool or something.
Yeah, no,
you got to say Whataburger.
Yeah,
are we not supposed to be saying those names?
No, I don't think it matters.
Anyway, like if I go there, I get the number one.
You know
what I'm saying? I'm a number one guy.
You get what's advertised.
The number one basic thing. Now, if I go to a new place, I always get the number one because you got to get debate. Now, I might, expand to a patty melt or something like that here and there, but pretty much I'm a number one guy.
That makes sense. I mean, if it's the first time there, I could go with that. But if I, like McDonald's, I've gone 5 billion times in my life. I'm going to change it up a little bit.
McDonald's is just weird because they don't have like a number one, really. Their number one doesn't have ketchup on it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what the numbers are. I just know that, the Quarter Pounder is like, they have that and then they have the Big Mac. That's their two probably biggest, most famous burgers.
So I'll say regular, which was not one of the options.
Well, it's
right?
other. It can fit into other.
Other and salt and vinegar.
That's my go-to as well.
Yeah, I love salt and vinegar. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Make sure you celebrate America's 250th birthday with Lafayette Stars and Stripes held on Saturday, July the 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette. There'll be kids' activities, local pop-up shops, food vendors, musical performances by Sold Out and Rusty Matoir and Zydeco Crush and DJ Digital and fireworks at night. This is a free family event. Make sure to mark calendars for Lafayette Stars and Stripes presented by Lafayette Consolidated Government, LUS, LFT Fiber, Serving Good Vibes, AVA, and Delta Media Corp.
Do you need more of the fellas here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station? Of course you do. So go make sure and subscribe to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles YouTube channel at ESPN_SWLA. Don't forget to turn that bell on so you get notifications for new episodes of Four Tire Change Podcast, where Dawson Iserloh talks all things NASCAR, or Cleats and Sneaks with James Mesh. Get yourself more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station at ESPN_SWLA on YouTube.
At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, take $2,500 off the MSRP on all new 26 Chevy Trax in stock, or take $3,000 off the MSRP with GMF down payment assistance. Plus, every new Chevy comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your Super Chevy dealer, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey. Stop by or log on at servicegm.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Dealer discount $2,500, GMF down payment $500 plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 stock fee, $15 notary, and $23 convenience. In stock units, see dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit GoVote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Bart.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Community is when you walk in a business and they know you by name. These local businesses are proud to call Acadiana home. They're proud to be certified South Louisiana.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
Since 1977, Stan's Auto Center, 3203 Johnson Street, has proudly served Acadiana with top-notch tires and expert auto repairs. Family-owned, locally rooted for 48 years, Stan's Auto Center, a Lafayette tradition. Now we're open in New Iberia. Visit stansautocenter.com today.
Bearwood Furniture Center carries quality solid wood indoor and poly outdoor furniture perfect for your home. Do you need furniture now? Bearwood Furniture Center has a large variety of furniture in stock. From our showroom to your home, Bearwood Furniture Center, Exit 7 in Carencro or bearwoodfurniturecenter.com.
Support our local community and shop certified South Louisiana.
Are you fluent in Footlish? Probably not, but not to worry. We're here to help with the Footlish Dictionary. Medicine season, a season in which a college or professional sports team suffers a disappointing season due to a plethora of injuries or fluky incidents. Now, back to the man with his very own language, Kevin Foote and Footnotes on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to get in on the ESPN hotline, now is a great time to do it. It's also our final day of week 2 of our Footnotes summer project. College basketball, 1-2 punches, and I'll run down the list maybe in this segment at the end, but probably next segment. We'll run down the list, and we'll have to come up with a top 10, which I don't think it's going to be easier to do. I think the top 10s for Major League Baseball last week going to be a lot easier to do than this one, but we'll see how it goes. We'll I can do it, but this is something that I kind of like to kind of happen. I don't know, the word people love to use is organically. Like just kind of naturally happen, and go with the flow and see how it transpires rather than just kind of do it all. And so we'll see how that plays out in the next one. For now, we will head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Hey, Kev. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. I wanted to just check in. I haven't got a chance to listen most of the week, so these may have been mentioned before, but for your 1-2 punches, just real quick in case no one happened to mention the Louisiana connections. Chris Jackson and Shaq, the team kind of underachieved as a whole, but that was a pretty dynamic 1-2 punch. And then closer to home, and when I was going to school, Andrew Toney and Dion Rainey, I used to really enjoy watching those two play together.
It's interesting because someone asked me off the air about the Toney thing. And like I say, when you have a dominant player, it's more of a 1-3 punch than a 1-2 punch. And for me, like I'm a power forward guy. So my guy was Cordy Glenn. And so it's interesting how some people might say Tony Cordy Glenn or Tony Rainey or even Tony Figaro.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. So, yeah, but no, Rainey was really good. Certainly liked him. And Tony was such a dominant force that, I guess you could put him with a lot of people. But, yeah, interesting.
Right. Hey, and on the poll question, I wanted to share this story because, you touched on it already, but this is a true story. My son took my grandson. My grandson was 5 at the time. Well, maybe 4 or 5. They were living in Texas, and of course, there's a Whataburger on every corner in Texas, And so he told me, he said, "Well, we're going to, go and get something to eat at Whataburger." So, he got him the kids' meal and gave it to him, and got the juice pack or whatever. And my grandson's in the back seat, and he's like, "Dad," he said, "we need to go back." He said, "Why?" He said, "They didn't give me my water." He said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, you said there was Whataburger."
Exactly. Exactly. You gotta. I make Russ say it. Russ, I don't know what Whataburger is. Like, what is that? You gotta say Whataburger.
And look, last thing I wanted to touch on, you mentioned about special teams and how important it is. And I really hope, I'm very excited about this season. I think the Saints have upgraded special teams as far as through the draft, adding pieces. I haven't seen the punter punt yet on our team. I've seen him punt, for the Vikings, but you would think that's going to be an upgrade. I'm still terrified at kicker, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not too sure about Smith, and then Mason Shipley is not, and you know what people forget about, Kevin, is how bad Smith was in kickoffs last year, too, in landing the ball in the kickoff zone. I hate the stupid rule to begin with, but, a lot of kicks were short and through the end zone. Stuff that, it's so important, special teams. And I just hope we bring in some legitimate competition for him at some point.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying he can't be it. And when we talked to James last week, Skermetta, I think perhaps the biggest question mark left on this team is the kicker. I know a lot of people just ignore special teams, but I think it's tremendously important. In fact, I think it was probably the biggest, most unaddressed issue during the Casper Breeze era. They were so bad on special teams for so long, and when they finally got pretty good at the end, it coincided with about 3 or 4 years of really consistent play. It's so important, and I think it's the biggest question mark on this team right now. I agree with you, the kicker.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, you have a great weekend, and I hope you just enjoy Whataburger.
Thanks. I don't know. I hope we don't get in trouble saying that.
I don't think we will.
But anyway, it's the point is you got to say things right, to me, and ordering the number one. Anyway, it was all stemmed off from our poll question of the day. So if I get in trouble, I have to blame you, I guess, or whoever came up with this question.
Well, it was RP3's idea, so.
Well, I guess I can't blame the boss.
No, but if he's dishing out punishment, I'm going to – wait, hey, you? The one who suggested this one.
Yeah.
Foot can talk about chips and go into burger chains, so.
That's funny. No, again, and we did mention, to his point, we did mention Shaq. In fact, Shaq and Chris Jackson was the very first suggestion. It's on the very top of our list here that we have. Well, I was going to kind of do it next, but let's go ahead before we get to the timeout at the bottom. Let me rattle off what we have so far, and then we're going to have to at some point. We'll do it at the end of the show, kind of see if we can have a top 10. I think it's going to be very difficult to do. But we've got Chris Jackson and Shaq. We've got Chris Mullen and Mark Jackson, Drexler and Olajuwon, Leitner and Hurley, Gathers and Kimball, Larry Johnson and Augman, Aguirre and Cummings, Perkins and Worthy, Ernie and Bernie, Morning and Mutombo, Todd Day and Lee Mayberry. We had that little Arkansas run here. Scotty Thurman and Carlos Williamson, Edney and O'Bannon, Douglas and Pearl Washington. I have to read my handwriting on some of these. Patrick Ewing and Sleepy Floyd, which can be iffy sometimes. Scott May and Quinn Buckner, Bowie and Turpin, Carmelo Anthony and McNamara, Wilkes and Walton. Marcus Johnson and Sidney Wilkes. We were talking about the old UCLA days, which one were big. Sidney Moncrief and Ron Brewer, more Arkansas. David Thompson and Monty Tao. Darrell Griffith and Lancaster Gordon. Bo Lamar and Roy Ebron locally, and they'll come up again later in the summer on this project. Mike Bibby and Miles Simon. Randolph Childress, Tim Duncan. Ben Gordon and Okafor, Stacey King and Mookley Blaylock, Weber and Rose, or Weber and Howard. We had both of them. Mateen Cleaves and Mo Peterson from the Michigan State era. Bo Ellis and Butch Lee, that's one of my favorite. Keith Van Horn, Andre Miller. We talked about Brewer and Noah, but the Florida group I thought was interesting, and then what Ralph just said. So that's kind of what I had written down. It might have been one or two that I missed that was mentioned earlier, but that's kind of the list we have. I don't know. That's 40 or 50 suggestions there, so we'll have to.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And if we have any more, certainly feel free. Would love. There's more to be had, no question. It's just whether it comes out or sticks out to someone. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes. Live on ESPN, 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN, 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in Match Day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Purser, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Are your pipes giving you problems? Is that leaky faucet driving you crazy? Don't wait for a plumbing disaster. Call the experts at Ace Plumbing, your trusted local plumbers for over 30 years. At Ace Plumbing, we do it all. Clogged drains, water heater repairs, pipe replacements, and more. With decades of experience, we deliver fast, reliable, and affordable solutions for your home or business.
Ace Plumbing fixed my burst pipe in no time, and the price was great. They're the only plumbers I trust.
From small leaks to big emergencies, Ace Plumbing is just one call away. We're available 24/7 because plumbing problems don't wait. Call Ace Plumbing today at 337-565-2519 or visit us online at aceplumbinginc.com. That's 337-565-2519.
Ace Plumbing, your personal plumber. Let us give you a hand.
Everybody's talking about the big, beautiful bill, and it's game-changing for taxpayers. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've read the bill, and if you've been putting off a tax problem, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and get it resolved. This new legislation could give you a chance to get things straight with the IRS. Whether it's getting caught up on unfiled returns or negotiating IRS debts, there are a lot of new deductions and opportunities in the big, beautiful bill, and the Bryson Law Firm knows how to use them strategically. We've been staying on top of the tax changes in the big, beautiful bill, and we're ready to help our clients take full advantage. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Remember, if you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit brysonlawfirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm. LSP filing number LA2519079.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and your home for the LSU Tigers.
Welcome back to Footnotes on this Friday. Astros are now going to Kansas City. You know, the difference between me and a lot of people is scars from losses. They don't. I remember them for a while. The Astros have had a lot of very frustrating series against the Royals in recent years, is my memory, and so I don't feel I'm a little trepidation going to this. The Royals have not had a good season, no question. They have not had a good season. They do have the ability to steal some bases, though, and the Astros can't throw out a runner, so I'm a little worried about that matchup. The Astros need to get some wins. I mean, they need to win some series. I mean, again, the last series, they avoided the sweep on the road, but, I mean, they're playing one of the few teams that's got a worse record than them, and they have got to start getting people out on the mound in the first and second innings. They keep falling behind 2 and 3 and 4 and 6-0 way too soon. So we'll see how they get that fixed. As I said, however, it is College World Series starts today. We talked a little bit about it, but not a lot this week. West Virginia, Troy at 1 o'clock today. North Carolina, Ole Miss at 6. If you missed it on Wednesday, each year I do a statistical comparison of the World Series, Phil, old school rotisserie baseball, fantasy baseball style, where you have 5 hitting categories and 5 pitching categories, and then you total them all up and see who's the most, on paper, the most balanced team. And if you missed it, number 1 was Texas by a long shot. It's not even close. They're 12 points ahead of number 2. Number 2 surprised me a little bit, was West Virginia. On paper, is the best team. A few points behind them, North Carolina 3. A few points behind them, Georgia 4. Then another 12.5 point. So on paper, this is 4 halves and 4 have-nots.
Yeah.
On paper. 5 is Oklahoma at 37. 1 spot behind them is Troy and 6 with 36 points. Ole Miss has 35.5 and 7, and a pretty distant 8th is Alabama. On paper, Alabama's the worst team in this field. Now, we'll see how it plays out on the field, but that's the way it looks like on paper, statistically. We will head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Would you have a good day off?
I did, yes, sir. I enjoyed some things, no question. It was good to have a day off. But you know how days off with me, while certain things are going on, I'm making phone calls and putting stories in. It never really ends with me. But, yeah, it was a good day. Yes, sir.
Are you going to tell your fans and listeners what you really did yesterday?
Well, I mean, what do you mean, what did I really do?
Well, you went to a celebration for Joe Montana's birthday.
Oh, no, that did not happen. Was yesterday really Joe Montana's birthday? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, that's sickening. If I'd have known that, I would have come up with a different day to be off. Seriously, I would have. I still to this day, if I'm picking out clothes and I have khaki pants, I mean, I don't have any puke brown pants, which is in their, in my mind, their color. But if there's a red, I will not wear a red shirt with khaki pants or khaki shorts. I will not do it.
I know you won't. But you went to a birthday party.
Oh, no, I didn't go to a birthday party. I did not. That's funny, though. That accusation's pretty funny. All right, I appreciate the call. No, I did not know it was his birthday. Oh, kind of makes me sick.
I do
thinking about it.
Admire your hatred for the 49ers.
I still, when you get cheated that many times, it just sticks with you, at least in my mentality. And I know I was supposed to put that away when Ricky made the Hall of Fame. I was supposed to, in the Saints Super Bowl weekend and all, I was supposed to put all that away. But then 2 years later, the best Saints team ever gets beat over there in that crazy game. I can forgive to a certain extent, but I can't forget, and I just will not have anyone thinking. I can't wear blue, red, and puke brown anything.
Where's the blue coming from?
Not blue. I didn't mean to say that.
Brown?
Red and puke brown. That's what I say their colors are.
It's funny, though. You mentioned I can't forget. I think if you were to ever write an autobiography, that should be the title. I can't forget. Because what was it, last season or maybe it was this season, I woke up in the middle of the night panicking about the Saints losing to the, whoever they were playing that weekend 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't forget.
I struggle to get past things, no question. And it's maybe my biggest flaw in a lot of ways. So I need a...
It's a superpower, though, sometimes.
I guess it depends on how you look at it, for sure. No. By the way, we got another good suggestion texted to me on our Footnotes summer project. It's interesting because a lot of times when we talk about college, we base it on what they did in the NBA, which is natural, or whatever the professional sport that we're talking about is. But the suggestion was Magic Johnson and Greg Kelser. And Magic obviously is one of the greatest players ever, and I was in the 79 season, Michigan State played Indiana State for the national championship. And those of you who know history, Larry Bird was on the Indiana State team, and Magic was playing for Michigan State. And Greg Kelser actually averaged more points and more rebounds than Magic. Now, Magic had a lot of assists. When I went back and looked it up to see how much of a 1-2 punch that really was after I got the suggestion. And there's also was a third NBA player on that team from Michigan State named Jay Vincent, who had a pretty decent career with the Dallas Mavericks mostly. All three of them averaged double figures that season. But Magic turned out to be the great star, and Kelser was, not really much of an NBA player, but he was a really good college player, so that's a good suggestion. Another one to add, Magic and Greg Kelser. So, man, of all the ones that I mentioned, I rattled them off so fast you might not have remembered. Are there two or three that stick out as locks in your mind?
Well, Bill Russell, Casey Jones. I think that's...
Oh, we haven't done that one yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, we haven't done that one yet. Now, that's going way back. You're talking about like the 50s when they played at San Francisco. Yeah, and that was they ended up playing together. Probably the Celtics cheated to get them because they cheated to get Larry Bird. But Celtics ain't been cheating for years, but decades, I should say. But yeah, no, that's an old school one. We have not mentioned that.
They won 55 consecutive games.
Yeah, they won a lot.
And 2 national titles. I would say Leitner and Hurley. I know you said them.
We definitely said them. I'm not a Duke person, but yeah, you definitely got to include them.
And then probably Jordan and Worthy.
See, I think Worthy and Perkins was more because Jordan was really like the fourth guy on that team. I mean, again, I watched a lot of in the 70s, I became kind of obviously I pulled for the Cajuns first, but I became like a North Carolina fan. So back in the Mike O'Koren days. And then, so I was a big fan of North Carolina when ESPN started, and they showed a lot of games. I watched a lot of ACC and a lot of North Carolina basketball in the early 80s, and Jordan was exciting, no question. But that 82 season, he was at least the third. Jimmy Black was a good player. Matt Doherty was a good player. You could tell Jordan's an immense talent, and the next year it really showed out. But he was really the third or fourth guy on that wing.
I mean, Worthy was the best player.
But Worthy
in the
and Perkins, I think, was the 1-2 punch on that team.
Okay. But what about
either one you want to go with?
I think Olajuwon and Drexler.
Drexler's a good one. I agree. They didn't win the title, but they were outstanding. That's a good one. I agree.
I'm trying to think. Did we ever say Noah, Joakim Noah, and Corey Brewer of Florida?
We did. That was mentioned. Yes, I did mention that. Again, I think it's tough on balanced teams to have a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
When you have like 4 or 5 really good players.
I also had Horford. So, yeah.
Horford was good too, yes.
So, that's some of the ones that I can think. I mean, the first 2 I listed, I'd say, are definite locks. I'd probably put Olajuwon and Drexler.
Bill Russell on here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't dislike Bill Russell. Like, look, I don't like this. Like, I've never pulled for the Yankees and the Celtics because I'm not a unless my team is the dynasty mega favorite team, then I don't pull for them typically. But I respect them, and I don't mind talking to them. Like if they do a story on the ex-Celtics, I'll most of the time I would watch. Like I saw, stuff about Bill Walton or Bird. I will watch. If they do something on a Yankee, I don't pull for them, but I will watch. If 16 or 80 comes up, it's an automatic turn. I mean, it ain't even thinking about it. It's an automatic turn. But no, that's I think that's some good ones that we have for sure. So we might be able to get to 10 pretty quickly about an hour from now. For now, we'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station. We know you can't get enough sports in your life. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel, ESPN Southwest Louisiana. Turn that bell on so you can get notifications when we post our new content like popular podcasts for tire chains and cleats and sneaks, original shorts like Foot's Friday Fury. Now you can stream all of our local shows on our YouTube channel. So go and subscribe to ESPN Southwest Louisiana's channel on YouTube.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This is your Chiropractic Expert Minute, brought to you by Dr. Quentin Briscoe, D.C., chiropractic physician.
Injured in a car accident? Confused about what to do next? At Briscoe Chiropractic, we have been treating auto accident injuries for almost 2 decades. We focus on the diagnosing and treatment of injuries related to motor vehicle accidents, providing comprehensive care while documenting your injuries. Even minor accidents can cause injuries that may not show up right away. Ignoring these injuries could lead to chronic pain and long-term issues. At Briscoe Chiropractic, we focus on treating accident-related injuries. Our chiropractic care focuses on realigning your spine and reducing pain and helping your body heal naturally. Don't wait until the pain worsens. Early treatment is key to a full recovery.
To schedule an appointment with Briscoe Chiropractic, visit drqmb.com or call 337-534-0091. That's drqmb.com or 337-534-0091. Briscoe Chiropractic, where recovery is no accident.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag zero-turn lawnmowers.
Hit the road this summer in a new Chevy from Service Chevrolet Cadillac. Right now, take $12,000 off the MSRP on a new 2026 Silverado 1500. Or take $13,000 off the MSRP with trade assistance. Take $2,500 off the MSRP on all new 2026 Chevy Trax in stock. Or take $3,000 off the MSRP with GMF down payment assistance. Plus, when you buy a new Chevy from Service Chevrolet Cadillac, it comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Hurry to Acadiana's #1 Chevrolet dealership. Our family serving your family. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your Super Chevy dealer. 1212 Ambassador Caffrey near I-10. Stop by or log on at servicegm.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Silverado dealer discount $6,000. GM rebate $6,000. 2012 or newer trade assist $1,000. LT or RST package 5.3 V8. Trax dealer discount $2,500. GMF down payment $500. All offers plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 $15 notary and $23 convenience. In stock units. See dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26. Claims based on current GM data.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
Man. The man cracks out. You know, normally I gotta give some historical perspective for like things that happened 15 and 20 and 30 years ago. The man cracks out like 80 years ago basketball. That's impressive.
It was one of the only ones I could think of that I knew because college basketball duos, I didn't know as much or remember as many as for NBA or something like that. So, and I knew I had heard of them before and how great they were and read something about them once. And it just popped into my head.
That was impressive.
And I thought we had mentioned it, honestly.
No, we had not done the Bill Russell, the San Francisco Dons thing with Casey Jones. No, we have not done that. By the way, I do want to mention some. We don't do a lot of this, but do want to give an update on where Cajun baseball is in the transfer portal. Some very good, or at least encouraging, signings that have taken place. One of the more interesting ones, and it kind of fits with the conversation / debate that we've been having for a couple months now. I wrote a column at The Advocate earlier this week about the thing that Coach Degg's been hitting about for a few months about moving the fences in at T-Moore Field.
Yeah.
And look, if it works, basically what I said in the column was you can like or dislike that style of play, home run derby, I call it. I don't like home run derby. But if you're the Cajuns, all that's important is winning games. So, like, what's going to lead to winning games? Now, I'm not convinced that moving the fences in will lead to winning more games. Coach Degg seems to be convinced of that. And, again, he may know way more than I do on that deal. And I brought up the exact – I think it's a little bit of an exaggerated analogy, but the super regionals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had Ole Miss and Auburn, 2 SEC teams. The final scores were, I think, 5-3 and 6-4.
Yeah.
Then you had Mississippi State and Georgia, and they hit like 20-something home runs. Mississippi State hit 12 home runs in 2 games and lost.
Lost both of them.
Got swept.
Yeah.
Like, that should never happen.
Well, Georgia's park it's egregious how small it is.
Again, it's a popcorn park. Most of the SEC. So there has to be in other words, there's a reason behind why do all these SEC programs in a league, why do they play in popcorn parks? And I think the reason is the same reason Coach Deggs wants it, is that you're less likely to get upset if I can hit a bunch of cheesy 365-foot home runs in the power alley.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're hitting a lot of home runs, it gets people, kids want to go there. That's the home run team.
And I talked about the recruiting aspect. I like the having uniqueness of a pitching, but I say all that to say that the Cajuns have signed Manny Salas, who was a big DH. I guess he could play first base from Texas State, if you remember. Big, swings a lot, hits a lot of home runs. Hits a lot and strikes out a lot. Like a totally different type mentality than most of UL hitters are. They also got Micah Kendrick, who's an infielder from Kansas State, who has hit over 300, so he's a little bit more like a normal Cajun hitter. They also got a lot of pitchers. They've got 3 pitchers now from Marshall. We already knew about Blaine Albright and Charlie Krebs. They added Griffin Miller, another former pitcher from Marshall, as well as Kendall Dove, who's a little bit more of a project pitcher from UTSA. So the Cajuns have added 6 players to the roster from the transfer portal, and a lot of them are pitchers. 4 of them are pitchers, but added to the pop as well, and an infielder from Kansas State. So interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm excited about the people that they're bringing in.
For old school Cajun fans, or pretty old school Cajun fans, one of the more popular, if you've been around for a while, one of the more popular players in Cajun history was a guy named Butch Harris. Kind of a bigger guy, could do a lot of stuff. And Manny Salas has a little bit. If you watched him play, he has stolen double figures every year in his college career. And I'm including like his junior college seasons, because he played 2 years at junior college before he went to Texas State last year. But every year he hits double-digit home runs. Well, 1 year he didn't hit double-digit. But he has stolen 11 up to 15 bases, which is not like 40. But when you're a big guy who's a home run hitter, he doesn't look like he would steal bases. Just like Butch Harris didn't look like he could do some of the stuff that he did. He was kind of a bigger guy that could do some stuff. And so he has a little Butch Harris in him for old school Cajun fans. So we'll see how it works out. It's going to be very interesting, no question. I mean,
I'm excited, honestly. I'm looking
we'll
forward to
see
it.
how all these pitchers fit in. They need pitching, and they need pitchers that have some experience. So we'll see how it plays out. But on paper, we've been talking about that, using that term a lot today. It looks like a very encouraging transfer portal season for the Cajuns. 1 hour down, another hour to go. Stay tuned.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Hello, Acadiana. Cajun Carts is your #1 full-service dealer for new, used, and custom golf carts. Perfect for on the job site, the neighborhood, or even out on the green. We are the only authorized dealer of American-made E-Z-GO and Club Car here in Acadiana. For all your service, sales, and mechanical repairs, we got you. So don't wait. Roll on over to CajunCarts.com or stop by our Lafayette location by the Jockey Lot and see why we've been Louisiana's golf cart headquarters since 2003. Cajun Carts. Why walk when you can ride?
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563. Lafayette Stars and Stripes is back and bigger than ever as America celebrates its 250th anniversary. Join us Saturday, July 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette for a night of patriotic fun. Gates open at 5 p.m. with live music by Sold Out and Rusty Mattwire and the Zydeco Crush, along with delicious food trucks, family activities, local vendors, and plenty of surprises. Then look to the sky for a spectacular fireworks finale at 9:30 p.m. Free admission presented by Lafayette Utility System, LFT Fiber, and Delta Media.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in match day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. This is 2 hours of sports talk like none other. Footnotes with the man who speaks his own language.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Your host, Kevin Foote.
Welcome back to Footnotes. If you would like to get in on the ESPN hotline, certainly feel free to do so, 706-0111. As you listen to ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles, we broadcast from the Bill and Abear Studios in Upper Lafayette. Bill and Abear, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. All right, before we move on, what is, because we've got a lot to get done. We have an interview I'm very excited about with Dalen Cambry coming up in the next segment. Then we got to get some work done on our finishing up our week 2 of our Footnotes summer project. Is there any more comments or results of our foodie poll question of the week, sir?
Yes, so right now on what is the best flavor of Zapp's chips, Voodoo is in the lead. That's at 75% of the vote. Other at 25%. No votes as of now for the Gator Taters or the Spicy Cajun Crawtaters. And looking at the comments, again, Boxcar Bergeron with the Blackened Bayou Ranch, JBK saying Evil Eye, and then 2 comments for Spicy Cajun Crawtaters, yet there's no votes. So, guys, if you're going to comment, you got to click the button to vote. Defeats the purpose.
Well, not totally. Like, if they have good comments, it still spices up the situation.
Yeah, but when you just comment your choice, I'm not good enough at math to start breaking down all these percentages. So I need you to hit the button.
Yeah, I got you. That's fair. That's fair. All right. But no, look, I don't know how many flavors they have, but that sounds like a lot of them. And I've never eaten one where I say this is bad. I mean, so it's not about good or bad. It's about preference here. And again, like I said in the first hour, I'm normally a plain chip guy. I do like salt and vinegar though, and so
it's the best.
I will delve a little bit, but not go too far down that road most of the time. It is amazing though. And we don't want to go too far down this road, but it is amazing how your tastes change. There are chips, and I'm not going to mention them, that I ate when I was a kid that like Russ eats now, and if I take a bite, I'm like, I don't even like this.
Yeah.
But I know I ate them like crazy when I was a kid.
I think it's every 7 years is your taste buds change, or that's the old wives' tale. I mean, I used to hate shrimp growing up. I love shrimp now.
It's weird. The thing that's weird for me is the older I get, the less I like seafood. I don't know what's going on with that. Like I still love shrimp, but I don't like crawfish as much as I used to.
Well, it's very heavy. There's a lot of spices.
I don't know why though.
Different things involved. It can be very heavy. Maybe that's it.
It's weird. I can't explain it. All right, let us head out to the ESPN hotline. Hello.
I commend your co-hosts for bringing up Bill Russell.
Man, that you want to talk about out of left field? That was impressive.
Well, yes, it is. But you know what? Like I told him, and I thought about that because I was like, maybe that's too old because what I was thinking about? John Havlicek and Jerry Lucas.
Yeah, that is another one. Again, well before my time, but you're right.
Hey, for the first time since June of 1994, the Knicks, they have a great chance to clinch an NBA title. I know they lost that Game 7 to the Rockets in 1994, so this is the first game since. De'Aaron Fox, man. Did you see, they had a collage of just him just making crucial mistakes, man. I know it's a team game, but De'Aaron Fox, man, I think the NBA needs to study him, investigate him. What was that?
Well, but again, I was talking about it at the top of the first hour. A lot of people just, it's not in their mindset to get conservative, but there's just a time that you have to do it, and it doesn't mean that you're just trying not to lose. It's just, there's too much wisdom to it.
You know what's so crazy? Yeah, that happened, but the precedent has been set 10 years ago. A team can't come back from 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the Knicks' history, all the woes they've been through for years, like this franchise is one of the, this is a losing franchise, as in, bad luck. So they're still not out the woods, man. Even though it's 3-1, they're still not out the woods, especially, and San Antonio always, so, San Antonio's going to start off strong Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? They're just a young team, man. But De'Aaron Fox, man, they had to get rid of him next year. I don't see him on the team next year. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. Hey, what about Mike Dunleavy and Jay Williams? That little team, that little duo won a title.
Yeah, they did. Again, any combination that wins a title at the college, you got to at least, it's worthy of mention. Yeah, I don't. Obviously, most people would yield to Leitner and Hurley from the Duke standpoint, and probably, we didn't even mention like when they didn't win a title, but what's his
Johnny
name?
Dawkins?
Amaker and I hate when I get senile. The two guards.
Danny Ferry?
I'm sorry?
Not Danny Ferry, huh?
Oh, no, before that. This was the 86, not 86.
Dawkins. Johnny Dawkins.
Yeah, Johnny Dawkins and Tommy Amaker. Yeah, that group. Well, and Allery and all them were on that team. But yeah, they were the guard, the duo guard there. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. 'Cause like I said, you said this is a historical thing. Because you know what's so crazy about Bill Russell? You know, he was a high school basketball teammate of Frank Robinson, and Frank Robinson was a baseball teammate of Kurt Flood and Vado Pinson.
That's amazing.
Man, what high school? That's a powerful little high school. Huh?
It's unbelievable. It's like I see it all the time. Eddie Murray and Ozzie Smith were high school teammates. And when you think about that kind of stuff, it's just crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, man. When you start that L.A. area, man, some of the talent that came out of L.A. area, baseball-wise.
No question.
Especially like when Darryl Strawberry and was there, Cecil Fielder, Eric Davis.
Yep.
Mark McGuire was around there.
Kind of like the Mobile area with Aaron and McCovey and Willie Mays.
John Elway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. You too. Good weekend. No, it's there's a lot of good ones. Havlicek and Lucas, man, he's making it tough on me. Again, that's before my time. That's not quite as far back as Russell and K.C. Jones, but all this Celtics stuff.
I know you're a big fan.
Trying to think of the guard that played with Bird at Indiana State. I want to say his name might have been Carl Nix. I think that might be correct. They were pretty much a one-man team, but it's hard to say you're a true one-man team. Bird was obviously a great player, but they had a guard, and I'm pretty sure his name was Carl Nix, who was a good player. Not as good as Kelser was, or even Jay Vincent probably in the world of basketball, but a good one.
I'm gonna take your word. You know me. I'm not a huge college basketball historian.
Well, again, I'm not the basketball fan I used to be, but from about 75 until about 95, maybe not quite, maybe more like 93 or 4. Somewhere in there, I was a huge basketball fan. The 80s basketball was great. It'll never be that good again. But I like I said, and it's not a joke. I reached an age where I couldn't just watch basketball for one game. You should be able to tell why I just couldn't do it anymore. It's just the officials just have way too much control of the game, and it's not their fault. It's an impossible game to officiate, and I just can't do it. It's kind of like college sports. I follow college sports. I talk about them all the time. I cover the Cajuns and all these sports. But in terms of my heart as a fan, college sports is so messed up. Like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I have noticed, like, I obviously I know you're a lifelong Cajuns fan, but you get a lot more hot when it comes to the Saints doing something or the Astros.
But I wasn't that way with UL basketball in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I wasn't. It was the same as the Astros. I just can't. It's like what the Florida State fans went through a few years ago. Can you imagine?
No, I can't. Yeah.
Can you imagine if the Saints did everything that everyone's always had to done to get to the playoffs, and they just said, well, we
kind of did.
You don't pass the eye test, so you're not going to the playoffs.
Well, the NFL kind of did that when they played the Rams with the no call. So, I mean, it kind of did happen in a way.
No, well, yeah, but it wasn't I know what happened there. That was just the old letting them play thing. It's just like the play that everyone's mad about Fox on. Guess what? He was fouled on that play. He blatantly was fouled on the missed layup there. But you can't call it. Well, they call it sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't take it. I just can't take it.
But
no, he was blatantly fouled on that play.
The thing is, though, if they found a way to develop some type of system that could analyze player movements and, contact and all of these things, and it was, 100% this is a foul or not, and it was all done by a computer, you'd hate that just as much.
Oh, no, you'd hate it more. It's what I've always said. If you do the equivalent of the balls and strikes system that they have in baseball, and they did that there would be no more players because every player would foul out of every game.
Yeah. Every single player would foul out.
And that's my point. There's nothing wrong with basketball. People love it. I've watched it for my whole life. I just can't have my heart and soul in it. I just can't because of what we just said. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, shift gears. Have an interview with former STM, UL Raging Cajun, current New York Giants, Dalen Cambry next. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, take $2,500 off the MSRP on all new 26 Chevy Trax in stock. Or take $3,000 off the MSRP with GMF down payment assistance. Plus, every new Chevy comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your Super Chevy dealer. 1212 Ambassador Caffrey. Stop by or log on at servicegm.com. Chevy. Together, let's drive. Dealer discount $2,500. GMF down payment $500 plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 stock fee, $15 notary, and $23 convenience. In-stock units, see dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26.
At Waterboys Water Well Services, we're more than just a quick fix. A handshake means more to us than a contract. From water treatment that protects your home and health to expert well drilling, pump installation, and maintenance, we've got your water covered. Cleaner, safer, better tasting water starts with trust and ends with Waterboys. Proudly serving Louisiana families with integrity and experience. Waterboys, high quality H2O products. 337-678-9955.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard, aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Do you know a veteran in need? Nation's Finest, through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, helps veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada, helping thousands of veterans every year. Visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
You're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back. to Footnotes. We have with us a very special guest, former St. Thomas More, former UL Raging Cajun, current member of the New York Giants, Mr. Dalen Cambry. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I bet you are. So, are you? None of us have ever been in like OTAs before. Do you kind of? I mean, I can't believe you're tired after an OTA as much as you do, but probably kind of intrigued. I mean, how would you describe when one of those sessions is over?
It's basically like a full speed practice, like you would see if you were to go to a UL practice. Full speed practice, special teams. We're doing everything, but the only difference between this type of practice and a training camp practice for us is we're in strictly helmets and jerseys, no pads, no contact. So for me, it's pretty much the same practice without blocking. So it's a little more fun, but it's still a lot of running, a lot of pass catching. Normal practice. It's hot up there, not compared to South Louisiana, but it's hot for up there.
Well, when you came out, obviously you didn't have – you're technically a wide receiver, didn't have all these totals, but we all knew the unbelievable impact you had as a special teams player for the Cajuns. So while some people up there might have been a little surprised that you made the team, I don't think a lot of people who followed UL football was very surprised you made the team. Just talk about – it had to be an incredible experience – making the team, and then, going through the season. Have you had time to kind of, or is it like your head's still spinning, or have you had time to kind of really appreciate what you're going through right now?
No, I mean, just receiving the phone call, being invited up there was a blessing. And honestly, just being able to look after that phone call and say, like, dang, I really made it. I'm going to the NFL. Like, that's amazing. And then I catch myself almost every practice just looking at the New York City skyline, because you can see it from our practice field, and just being like, wow, this is unbelievable. I've never been to New York, and this is the reason I get to come to New York. So really it's amazing. Like you said, a bunch of the Cajuns fans weren't going to be surprised if I made a team, but I took each day by day, and continued to work on showing these coaches that I can play receiver and that I will continue to play special teams, and show them that I will do whatever it takes to be on the roster at the end of the season, or try to be at the beginning and then work my way back to being on the roster at the end.
So obviously you still have to have a little bit of that chip on your shoulder, because nothing is guaranteed, but you probably – do you feel like you kind of proved a lot to where you don't have obviously as much to prove? What kind of feedback have you gotten in that way as you go into this season?
I'm honestly keep treating this second year as like rookie year 2, just because we have an entire new coaching staff. Really, the only guys that remained in the building were the front office guys. So I was treating every day like it was a tryout again, because we had almost an entire new coaching staff. So I had to show them that there is still stuff for me to improve on, and I want to show them that I can do those things, certain things that they ask, whether it be route running, catching passes, holding for field goals, running down on special teams, doing whatever it takes to show those guys that I want to be here. I want to last this season. So I'm just taking it day by day.
So they didn't even keep like the assistant special teams coach. Like, it's totally new in that way?
Yes, I think we kept on the offensive staff. I think we kept definitely 2, maybe 3 guys on the offensive staff. No one on the special team staff. So it was almost a clean slate.
Have you already learned through the OTAs? Are they teaching it very different, or is it too early to really know like the special teams aspect of it?
It's definitely still a little too early, just because special teams is very physical and we haven't put on any pads yet. So it's been a lot of drill-based stuff on that side of the ball. But you can kind of get an idea of how players play based on watching film from last year, watching practices from last year, and then seeing how they translate it to practice in OTAs. So it is a little different just because, I mean, every coach will coach a specific drill differently and emphasize in the drill what they want to see. But at the end of the day, it's football. How much can it change?
Again, we're speaking with former Raging Cajun Dalen Camrys, a member of the New York Giants. You've got, you mentioned a new coaching staff and one of the most, popular, well-known football legacy last name coaches there is in the whole country right now. I know it's still very early, but what are your first impressions of him and the impact that he's made already? What would you say?
He's amazing. He's a super knowledgeable guy. Knows a lot of detail about every aspect of the game, whether it be special teams, offense, or defense. And he's a motivator. He understands players and what they want and what they need, and knows how to coach them. He takes team meetings and fires you up, or will get mad at certain players from the practice before, and it's not like a demeaning talk with these players. It's a motivating talk to get them to perform better. So he's a very personal coach, and he is not a type of dictator coach. He doesn't say it's his team and you're going to do what I say. He takes feedback from the players and kind of adjusts the way he coaches and the way practice is run based on how the players feel and what the players think, because at the end of the day, it's our team together and we're all working to the same goal.
And I'm sure he's one of the first guys that was a special teams coach that became a head coach. And so he thinks special teams pretty seriously. That's got to be a good thing, I would think, for someone in your situation.
Yes, I love learning from someone like that, especially with who he is, being a special teams coach, and how much experience he has. I mean, even in special teams, we have our coordinator that runs the meeting, but he'll come down from the top of the meeting room and come down and explain with great detail on how he wants it to be run, because he knows so much about the game, specifically about the special teams side of the ball. So he'll come down and basically demonstrate to us in front of the entire special teams unit, and he's just very clear and very knowledgeable about that aspect of the game.
You mentioned wide receiver, and obviously we know you made the team with special teams, but you obviously, you're still involved as a receiver and practicing. And do you feel like that's something that can still be kind of where you can contribute in that area as well?
Yes, you have to if you want to make the 53. We usually keep 6 guys on the roster when coming to a game week. So you have to contribute on special teams. You have to contribute a receiver. You'll have maybe your first 2 receivers, maybe 3 that won't play special teams or won't do anything else except receiver. So if you're 4, 5, or 6, you have to contribute in some way or another, whether that be running down on kickoff or being on punt unit. You have to be able to do something and still play receiver at the same time. Like, you can't just focus on special teams because then there's no use on you if something were to happen to one of those guys. You have to be able to be that backup receiver, be ready to play in case anything happens.
Did you know Malik growing up?
I knew who he was. We played against him whenever I was at St. Thomas More, and he was at Como. He was 2 years younger than me, so whenever I was a senior there at STM, he was a sophomore at Como. So I knew who he was. I knew he was a really great athlete. He was still a little underdeveloped. And if I remember right, we may have gotten a couple training sessions together whenever it was not football season. But I have definitely played basketball against him in the summer league that goes on in Lafayette.
So that has to be another pitching moment. 2 guys from Lafayette playing on the same New York Giants team. I'm sure y'all have had some fun conversations since you've been there. I mean, that is amazing to it in itself.
Oh, yeah. We talk about being back home, being in Lafayette all the time. We actually had dinner with the entire wide receiver room the other night, and we got on the topic of peeling crawfish, and me and Malik were trying to explain it to the other guys on the best way to eat crawfish and different ways to cook them and like what a crawfish boil is really like. So it's really nice not being the only one to kind of understand where I'm from. Me and Malik can both connect on that.
Have you ever met anyone like Jameis Winston? What's he been like? You know, we get glimpses of it, but behind the scenes, you know, as Saints fans down here, we kind of, you know, saw the impact that he had on that team, and he's just about as unique a personality as I've ever seen in sports. What's he been like?
And Jameis is awesome. It's truly one of those guys that cares about everything. He cares about you as a person. He cares about you as a football player, and he wants to grow with you. He's a super religious guy, and he wants to teach you about his way and his understanding, and then he also wants to grow with you on the football field. So everything you see on the social media, he's hilarious. He's a funny guy. But when it comes down to football, he is 100% bought in. He will spend hours and hours studying and getting ready for the next practice or learning from the previous practice. So especially as a veteran, someone that's been in the league for so long and has so much experience, he's one of those guys I wanted to get into in the locker room and learn from, just because he's been through so much. He's learned so much. He's been a starter. He's been a backup. He's been hurt. He's just so knowledgeable at the game, so knowledgeable about the game, so knowledgeable about life in general. So you can talk to him about anything, and I love the guy. He's super personable, super easy to talk to, and he really means everything he says to you.
All right, so it's got to be a special kind of excitement going on in New York right now. The Knicks are one win away from the NBA title. Almost everyone you talk about, I mean, nationally, or have this idea that the Giants are going to be one of the teams that could maybe, you know, go from not making the playoffs to being playoff contenders. So what's it like in New York City right now?
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, so technically the stadium and where most of the players live is on the New Jersey side, but we're all about 20, 30 minutes from New York City and Madison Square Garden. So we see and we can feel all the people traveling to and from Madison Square Garden or to bars and different places, different restaurants to go and watch the game. And I actually I went out with my fiance Wednesday night for the game 4, and we were watching the game and just grabbing a bite to eat, and we look up and right after halftime and we're like, man, of course we come out to eat and this game is a blowout, and then we're thinking about leaving, going home, and they start to come back and we're like, nope, hold on, let's wait. This is going to be something special. And you could just feel the excitement. And we're on we were staying in the Jersey side. I couldn't even imagine what it would be like in New York, in Manhattan, in Central Park. I mean, I've seen the videos of the fans and all of them, and it's absolutely nuts. There's just so much excitement, and we're going to use that. The Giants are going to use that excitement, that fan base, and kind of roll with that into the football season. So we're all really excited for the Knicks, and we're going to use that momentum, especially going into the football season.
All right, one more thing. Whether it's OTAs and then when you get into camp, do you have a much better idea, or did you kind of know last year, what do you have to show and prove to continue to stay on this team and continue to progress as an NFL player? Do you have an even better idea going into this camp than last year, or what you have to do, kind of like a checklist? I got to do this, this, and this.
Not really. I just have to take it day by day. We've gotten some feedback from our specific position coaches on what we need to work on this off season and continue to improve on. But in my eyes, I need to show the coaches that I'm a reliable, trustable guy that knows every aspect of the offense, and they can trust me for that spot to few reps at receiver if someone needs a break or if someone does happen to get hurt, like they can trust me, putting me in the game. And I need to show the coaches that I'm that guy. I'm that reliable guy that they can put in case of those situations. And I also need to show them that I'll do whatever it takes on special teams. I will go down. I will hit somebody. I'll run down on kickoff, hit the returner. I will protect on punt, block on kick return. I just need to show them that I'm a trustable, reliable guy that's going to do whatever it takes to help the team and help the team win.
All right. Well, look, we really appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure you know Cajun fans all down here have been pulling for you and following you and very happy with your success. Continued success, hopefully. We thank you for your time, and good luck this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Take care. Dalen Cambry. What a great story. And, again, if you followed UL football, it's probably not a huge surprise. He was such an incredible special teams player for the Cajuns. He really was. And so it's great to see him get this opportunity. We'll take a timeout and be back. Stay tuned.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros will be in Kansas City tonight to face the Royals in the first game of a weekend series. Tetsuya Imai will get the start of the bump for Houston, opposite of Luinder Avila for Kansas City. First pitch is at 7:10 p.m. tonight, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Day one of the 2026 College World Series gets underway today from Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. In Game 1 today, Troy will face West Virginia at 1 p.m. The Mountaineers will be the home side in that one. Then following that at 6 p.m. on the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss will face North Carolina with the Tar Heels representing the home side in that one. The Carolina Hurricanes have moved out to a 3-2 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals after last night's 4-2 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. The Hurricanes now sit only one win away from their first Stanley Cup win since 2006 and their second as a franchise. Game 6 of the series will be Sunday back in Las Vegas. Day 1 of the 2026 World Cup has concluded and saw Mexico beat South Africa 2-0 in the opening match, and then South Korea beat Czechia 2-1 to close out the day. The action continues today in match day 2 as host nation Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 2 p.m. in Toronto. Then later tonight, the United States begins their World Cup run with Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This will be the 11th World Cup that the U.S. has played in, which is tied for 8th overall globally. The United States is only a half-goal favorite over Paraguay, and kickoff is set for 8 p.m. tonight. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Lafayette Stars and Stripes is back and bigger than ever as America celebrates its 250th anniversary. Join us Saturday, July 4th at Park International in downtown Lafayette for a night of patriotic fun. Gates open at 5 p.m. with live music by Sold Out and Rusty Matwire and the Zydeco Crush, along with delicious food trucks, family activities, local vendors, and plenty of surprises. Then look to the sky for a spectacular fireworks finale at 9:30 p.m. Free admission presented by Lafayette Utility System, LFT Fiber, and Delta Media.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the LHSAA, are the 110,000 high school sports students in Louisiana. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
Welcome back to Footnotes. Appreciate Dalen coming on. He did a great job, and what a great story, and so many interesting storylines there, you know, with the Malik Neighbors connection with Lafayette, and then him being a special teams guy, and new head coach is a special teams head coach at his core, and then, you know, the whole Jameis Winston thing. It's just crazy. And then obviously he's up there during the NBA Finals with the Knicks going on. So just a lot of things to discuss with Dalen, plus the great story of him. You know, special teams is something that a lot of us overlook, and we talk about it all the time with the Saints, and I'm a big special teams guy, and so it's great seeing him do what he's doing. Of course, you know, when he plays against the Saints, then that's just, you know,
yeah, you
he's
hope
the enemy. But other than that, it's easy to pull for a guy like him.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Really cool. All right, so I'm starting to try to, like, where are we going to rank? I'm you know, Leitner and Hurley is there. I did not like them. I'm not a Duke guy, but it's impossible to ignore the impact that they had, you know, on the game and the college, and they were there for multiple years. And, you know, it's hard art. I think Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball need to be real high on this list just because, one, it's an incredible story, tragedy and triumph. Two, they were part of there was like a revolutionary way to play basketball. It was like, again, that was before your time, but I'm sure you've heard about me. They were doing things that just wasn't done.
Yeah.
And they were playing at a pace that was just unbelievable. And then this story of having these two kids from the Philadelphia area who weren't really highly recruited, but they had unique skill sets, and then they go out and play for this ex-Laker coach that got fired in California at a school that, I don't know, not too many people had heard of as it wasn't like they went to a basketball powerhouse.
Yeah.
And then created they were the talk of the country the way they played for a couple seasons. And then he dies on the court. I mean, it's just unbelievable story. And so, I don't know, that might be the best in terms of just a 1-2 punch, or pretty high up. I think that's fabulous. You brought up Bill Russell and Casey Jones. There's no arguing what they did.
Yeah.
So this was a long time ago, but
55
they still did it.
wins.
I mean, yeah.
And I think 2 national championships.
Yeah, so they they certainly did it. I don't know, like, I kind of feel like I'm not a fan of theirs. UCLA.
Walton and Wilkes.
I kind of feel like we got to have somebody from UCLA.
Yeah, I think Walton and Wilkes.
Is Walton and Wilkes the best one? We'll put them down there as one of them. I kind of like Drexler and Olajuwon.
I do too. I like them in the NBA too. So
yeah,
and two great basketball names.
Yes, and it's kind of cool that they did the Houston thing.
Yeah, you don't see that too often.
Yes.
Who else did we have?
We mentioned Perkins, Worthy. Some people want to do Jordan, but I mean, it depends again what year you're talking about. But they were out of there by the time Jordan was on his own. Kind of, when Jordan became the number one guy, Perkins and Worthy were out of there.
Yeah,
and so I don't know. I think it's Perkins and Worthy it'll have to be the guy. And again, I was a big fan of those teams, and I love. I mean, how could you not? I mean, it was in the Superdome, the famous Loyola game. Patrick, we haven't probably talked enough about Georgetown. Like we did talk about Mourning and Mutombo.
That's a good one.
And then, Reggie Williams was really good. Maybe Reggie Williams and Ewing. But but Ewing and Sleepy Floyd. Like Sleepy was pretty good. I mean, they weren't the same age, but they were certainly the 1-2 punch on that 82 team. So,
have we picked a duo like from the Fab Five that you could really say it was mainly these two guys, or is that just?
Well, again, we first mentioned Weber Rose, and then and Jay was saying maybe it needs to be Rose and Howard actually, because Weber left early. I don't know. It's kind of hard not to mention Weber as the central figure for me on that, but I mean either one we could do there. And then, the other one is just because of the uniqueness of it. We talked about Ernie and Bernie and how cool of a name it was, but they actually didn't have as much success in the postseason. So does that disqualify them? Or are we just talking about 1-2 punches where the national title part of it doesn't matter as much?
I mean, if you have it, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. I would say it kind of takes some points off if you had no postseason success
at all.
So yeah, I think that does take a hit. What about Buckner and Benson?
Well, I think it'd be more Scott May and Buckner, but again, I think that those that Indiana team of 76, which was the last team to go undefeated, I think they were more of a balanced team than they were. It wasn't so much about a 1-2 punch. Benson was a good player, and Buckner was a good player, and May was a good player. Like, they had good players, but none of them were like, like we're talking about Magic, or we're talking about, Jordan or Olajuwon or
names.
None of them were like Worthy. Like they were just good players on a good team where they were all pretty good, but they weren't like elite individual players. So I think they were just too balanced to have. And I guess you could argue the Fab Five kind of was too.
It was just a well-rounded unit.
Yeah, they obviously Weber and Rose had more NBA success than any of them.
But that's not the question.
Right. Magic and Kelser was mentioned today. It was a pretty good one, and they won a national championship. And Magic really, he was great in college, but he didn't really come into, he obviously got better once he went to the Lakers. Although, again, his rookie season, he went from point guard to center, scored 42 points with like 19 rebounds, so he showed you what he could do. But there's a lot of good ones here, and it's just cool to learn a little bit more about them. The thing that we learned the most was reminded me was the DePaul stuff that we talked about with Terry Cummins and Mark Aguirre, and how DePaul in that era won all those games, but they just didn't have the titles to go, the Final Four appearances to go with it. I guess there's teams like that.
Oh, there's plenty of teams like that.
At all levels in all sports where you
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, you had great success, but it never really happens for you. All right, so for today, what is your gut feeling about what Troy's going to do?
I think Troy is going to be more competitive than people think, and they're playing a team. West Virginia's they're both really hot right now. I think West Virginia's just they're riding it a little higher. I think they're going to win.
I think they are too, and West Virginia, when you look at their stats, the thing that intrigues me so much is their pitching's outstanding, and they score a lot of runs without needing the home run.
Yeah, they make a lot of contact. I like West Virginia in that one.
And I kind of feel like they could make a run. But North Carolina, West Virginia, I kind of expect that UNC's going to win. Although the thing about Ole Miss is they can pitch.
They have great pitching.
They can really pitch. So their pitching will travel to Charles Schwab Field. I don't know if their offensive approach will, unless they can keep hitting home runs. But, again, this is more of a traditional park where you got to hit it a little bit. It's 335 down the lines, 375 in the power alley, and 408 to center field. So it's unless the wind's blowing out, they're not going to hit all these little popcorn home runs that they've hit all year long in SEC play.
Yeah. No,
and neither will Georgia.
Neither will Georgia, but Georgia pitched really well in the conference tournament, which is also a big park. So it's going to be fun. Definitely going to be fun.
Should be interesting, no question. And I still can't believe Oklahoma's here.
Neither can I.
I just cannot believe Oklahoma's here.
Troy and West Virginia are more believable being there than Oklahoma.
I just cannot believe Oklahoma's there. But they're there, and they've played well, and they're playing a Bama team that on paper is the worst team here. So we'll see what happens. It's very interesting for sure. We'll take a timeout and be back.
This is Footnotes, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season approaching, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley brings you hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items. Have an emergency kit stocked with food, water, and medications. Know your evacuation routes. Listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio when the electricity goes out. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
Slimco members, it's bigger and better than ever. The 89th annual Slimco membership meeting. It's your chance to win one of 17 incredible prizes. Saturday, June 13th, the 89th annual Slimco membership meeting. Cajun Dome. Slimco is an equal opportunity employer and provider.
At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, drive a new 26 Silverado 1500 and take $12,000 off the MSRP. Or take $13,000 off the MSRP with trade assistance. Plus, every new Chevy comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. At Service Chevrolet Cadillac, your Super Chevy dealer, 1212 Ambassador Caffrey. Stop by or log on at ServiceGM.com. Chevy, together let's drive. Dealer discount $6,000, GM rebate $6,000, LTR RST 5.3 V8 2012 or newer, trade assist $1,000 plus tax, title, and license. Excludes $436 $15 notary and 23 convenience. In stock units, see dealer for details. Expires 7/7/26.
This is ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, broadcasting live from the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. Back to more of Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
All righty. Well, I enter this final segment with a little bit of trepidation. I mean, I'm sensing that Blake has found the formula to getting me on our weekly Astros history player quiz. I was on a roll there for a long time, and he's gotten a couple recently, guys who played for the Astros, but not for long, and somehow my little senile mind has kind of overlooked him, or, they went into the sea of nothingness there. And so we'll see how he does today.
Yeah, I'm confident about this one, but I'm not overly confident. Not as much as I was the last 2 weeks. So your random Astros player is Domingo Santana.
Domingo Santana had some pop. Man, I couldn't tell you when he played, though. Domingo Santana. Trying to place when he played. I'm thinking it was this century. I don't remember him being all that old. It was this century.
That's a good.
Did his number start with a 3?
No, but it had a 3. It had a 3 in it. It did not start.
3 came to mind when I thought of him.
It did have a 3.
I'm going to say sometime, in that he a teammate of like Carlos Lee?
When years did
like
Lee play?
between the first World Series in 2005 and like the awful period, somewhere in that range.
What was Carlos Lee's last year with the team?
Oh, I don't know. It was sometime in like 11, 10,
no,
11,
then he
12
he did not overlap with Carlos Lee.
So when did he play?
So Domingo Santana played from 2014 to 2015 for the Astros.
Yeah, I thought it was.
He played
a little bit later.
He played in 20 total games, 6 in 2014, 14 in 2015. From there, he was traded to Milwaukee with Josh Hader and Adrian Hauser for Mike Fiers and Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, he was a humongous outfielder. Like, he was huge. In fact, our friend Stevie P used to say that he ate people. He ate children. He was obviously joking.
Yes.
But, he came up and was supposedly going to be really this great hitter, and it never happened.
Yeah. It just never happened.
But he was big, like 6'5" or something. Well, I don't know if you know his height.
I don't know. For Domingo, he's 6'5".
6'5".
232.
He was a big guy.
Yeah.
So I certainly remember him. I don't know. What was his jersey number?
So he wore number 13 for the Astros in his short stint. Then for the Brewers, he wore 16. Then he went to Seattle where he wore that again. And then he wore number 24 with the Cleveland then Indians. He only played from 14 to 2020, so he didn't have a long career.
Yeah.
career batting average of 255, 77 career home runs with the Astros. Again, didn't play very long. He hit 179 with 8 RBI, 2 home runs, and he had 31 strikeouts and 56 at bats.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. He was one of these guys that put up some numbers in the minors. So he played a little later, a little more recent than I thought, but certainly remember.
So I'll give you that one. You knew enough about him and remember that.
Not as good as I should have, but all right. Y'all have a good weekend.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet, heads up.